I asked my neighbors to try this high-powered dual motor scooter from Yume. Most of them have only been on cheapy entry-level scooters, and I wanted to see if they like something much more powerful.
I'm so fast. That was so crazy.
That was crazy?
After a short ride, I asked if they'd be willing to spend $2,000 for one.
It's well worth it.
If you guys have the itch to make the jump from entry to a performance scooter and have the cash to do it, I think my neighbors would tell you to pull the trigger. Now, there was one thing that some of my neighbors didn't like, which I'll talk about later in the review. I'll also run you through the scooter top to bottom, and we'll let you know if I think this is something you guys should consider for your first performance scooter.
You have two scooters, but they're single motor scooters, right? They're not that powerful.
Right?
Go for it, man.
All right.
So you got the 45 miles an hour is what you hit, and you said there's a little bit of shaking.
It's up to 40?
40? You were like feeling good?
Yeah.
So a lot different than the scooters that you have?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever consider buying something like this? This is a $2,000 scooter.
Before I had that one, I was like, that's too expensive.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Now, it's well worth it.
So this is a dual motor scooter, super high powered, a lot more powerful than the one that you have in your garage.
Oh, that was so crazy.
That was crazy?
That got up really quick.
Yeah, it's super fast.
I got to 25.
25. How did that feel?
I felt very rattly.
What about the comfort and things like that?
Super comfortable, and it's bouncy. Like when you get on, it's got a nice bounce.
Suspension. Would you ever consider buying something like this? This is $2,000.
You know what? If I had a job that I needed this for, it would make it worth $2,000. For a fun scooter, probably not.
You've never ridden a scooter like this?
No, well, my brother has one, but it's like the slow version. It's like a kid version.
Makes me feel so much cooler.
That's fun?
Yeah.
You like it? Was it stable? What were your thoughts?
I think it was pretty stable. It was the wind that made me feel like
it's gonna push you off?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a $2,000 scooter. Would you ever consider buying something like this?
I would probably buy a scooter. I don't know that I'd spend $2,000 on a scooter.
This is my wife. Go, do it.
That's terrifying. You go 30 and I couldn't see smash fluttering.
How did it feel, 30?
Smooth, it was good.
What about stability and things like that? Going
good.
30?
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah? How does this compare to other scooters in the same price?
Pretty good. It's actually really smooth.
Okay, so this is a very powerful scooter, and you have one, which is like about a $1,500 scooter.
Oh, you taking it? There you go. Woo! Yeah. That is quite a fast scooter.
Is it pretty stable, scary?
Yeah, no, I feel like it felt really good.
Would you ever consider buying something like this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super fun.
Yeah. Sweet, cool, man.
A couple of my neighbors talked about there being some stem wobble. I'm going to tighten up the suspension. And if you guys have scooters like this, you definitely got to get yourself one of these. I'll have the link for this in the description. Oh, there's no play in that anymore. That might have gone a little bit too tight, but I'm gonna take it out and see if that wobble's gone.
That's actually feeling pretty good.
The top speed of the scooter is rated at 50 miles per hour. That was a slight uphill, and I'm a 190-pound rider. And as you saw, I could only get 43 miles per hour. But the stem wobble, it was definitely better. It didn't quite go away. You know, I was just thinking about the stability and noticing how huge these tires are. When I'm going slow, my eyeballs are vibrating. Now, the good thing about those tires is that when you go above 15 miles per hour, those smaller vibrations just disappear. And when you go above 40 miles per hour, they just sound pretty awesome. So I don't know, guys, do you like super knobby tires like that? I've never been the biggest fan of them. However, I will take this off-road and test out more of the suspension and those tires. But for now, I'm at the base of this hill and I want to show you how fast this thing can climb that.
That's 22 miles per hour up the top. You got a lot of power. You can easily climb something steeper and longer than that.
I want to stop by here because this is a beautiful place. And while I'm here, I want to talk about a few of the specs and things that Yume's done really well with this model. And the first thing is the LCD screen. It is full sun and you can easily see this. And I just like the design. It's red and black, which matches the locking mechanism. And these red metal liners, these are actually heat sinks. It pulls the heat away from the controller and stores it in here. This F button is how you turn off the front motor. And when you do that, I feel like the power is cut by more than half. I want to give you guys a demo of single versus dual motor. No tire spin, nice and gentle. You got about 10 feet of tire skid. Now I like that they've done that because going back to my neighbors, the ones that were unfamiliar with high-powered scooters, if they did pick this up, one button will just completely cut the power until they get comfortable enough with it to go dual motors. Next to the motor power switch is the lights. You have lights up and down the stem, a very bright headlight, and another one down here at the bottom of the stem. And then you also have two eagle eyes. There's turn signals, and those are pretty cool and very bright, and they flash in the back and in the front. I don't like that there's no indicator on the LCD screen that you have them on, and there's also no sound. I hate to admit it, but I drove about 15 miles throughout town yesterday with my left blinker on, so that was fun. Below that is the horn. I like this type of throttle. I've never had my thumb go numb with this throttle, and I have had my finger go numb with the trigger style throttles. I like the stem height and angle. I also like the size of the deck. It is plenty long, very wide, and it has a fin that extends it about another 4 inches. And I do use it when I go 40 plus miles an hour to increase my stability, especially with that little stem wobble. They've got name brand hydraulic brakes. These are Zoom, which are very powerful. It's powerful enough to pop up the back wheel. Oh yeah. Last thing I want to talk about before I head to the off-road part is the range. They say you can get up to 60 miles on a single charge, and it's got 2 charge ports, and they give you 2 chargers, which can be charged in about 4 to 5 hours. Now let's go find out how this handles off-road. Oh, I have arrived. Before I head up the road, I brought my tool, and I'm going to loosen up the suspension. Oh, that's better.
I'm just gonna be quiet and let the noises of the scooter tell you how good the suspension is. It's not the bigger bumps that you have to worry about. It is the smaller bumps. And that's gonna be more a factor of the tires. You need soft, cushy tires. You also need to lower down the PSI. There's little tricks you can do if you wanted to take this off-road and not lose your eyeballs. Oh. So going back to the question I asked at the very beginning of the review, would I recommend this for a new rider? And the answer to that is yes and no. I'd say yes if you're planning on going less than 40 miles per hour. 0 to 40, it's very stable. 40 to 45, there is some stem wobble. For a new rider, I think that would be a little too much for them. Now, if you guys like this video and you want to learn more about Yume, I've reviewed their X11 a couple of years ago, which I'll have right here. So go check that out. Thanks for watching and take care.